continuing work on the RAV4, I have decided that I'm gonna fix the little bits and pieces of rust that are around the body and bedline it. I've had experience bedlining trucks with my old LX470, which I bedlined with Monster Liner, which was a really good product that I really enjoyed, and it gave me a really nice texture and protection on the vehicle. For this, I went with a cheaper approach. I found this 1 gallon kit of Al's Liner. I should disclaim that they're not sponsoring this video in any way, so I bought this with my own money, and I figured I would make it a little unboxing / review of what I think of this product and how it's going to look. This is also tintable bed liner, and the colors that come out of the box are either black, white, or tan. You can use your own pigment. I think there's instructions on how to do that by getting whatever custom color you want and added it to the mix, because the color of the bed liner itself is clear and you just add pigment to it and make whatever color you want. I chose to go with the tan because I personally like the color. I always wanted to do to make a tan, a kind of a desert sand color vehicle, and never had a chance to do so. I went ahead and addressed all the right spots, and I went over everything with the sander. I sanded it with the 120 grit sandpaper. It calls for at least 180, so I went a little bit harsher just to ensure, and I went over everything with one of those scuff pads. I also went ahead and did some paint on certain areas that I wanted to keep black, so I just went with a rattle can, satin black, the stuff you just buy off the shelf from your hardware store. I've had great success with rattle cans before. This, believe it or not, is all rattle can with satin blue, and it works. Oh, one thing I forgot. This you can either spray on with a gun, or you can actually roll it on. And with my past experience with Monster Liner, I rolled everything on onto my LX. I'll show you guys some pictures of how it turned out. And to me, that looked awesome, and it was really easy to use. No additional equipment needed. You just need a roller tray and some rollers. And luckily, I've had, when I bought the Monster Liner kit, I had some rollers left over that are specially designed to leave that little bedline texture. I'll show you what those look like. This is what you buy from your hardware store for $7 or whatever. And these rollers, they have a little, I'll get closer. They have a little sponginess to them, and they basically are a sponge that is attached to a roller. And I've had 3 of them, and with a little mini one for those little skinny spots. You can also do the corners and edges that you can get with the roller with just a regular paintbrush, and you do that beforehand, and then you hit everything with the roller to clean it all up. Yeah, so this is what I'm starting with. So, what does the kit come with? I paid $130 Canadian for this, and it came in 2 days with Amazon Prime. So let's get to it. So the first thing I can bring up here is an adhesion promoter with a little spray nozzle. So you put that in, and I think you spray this everywhere. I'm not sure, I haven't read all the directions, so I'm not sure what happens exactly. So this gets sprayed over the vehicle before you apply the actual bed liner to make it you make the adhesion to the paint a lot more stronger. So that's what the kit comes with. Here I have a little pint or less than half a pint of tan pigment. Here I have a mixing fan that goes on your power drill. And I have what's called a catalyst C component. And I have an activator, which is called a B component. And the A component, which is pre-polymer resin solution. And that's that. And then also comes with, last but not least, a application guide with how to roll it on or how to spray it on. I'm going with the roller method, and I'll show you how that will work out. Yeah, that's all the kit comes with. And I am fairly certain that this 1 gallon kit will cover the entire thing, because I had leftover when I did a 2 gallon kit with my big LX470, and this tiny thing is definitely a lot smaller than that. And plus, I've covered a whole lot of the roof and the hood with just regular black paint. So the surface that is going to be tanned is very small. I should mention that all plastics have been taken off and been painted black, satin black as well. So I'm going with the satin black slash beige or satin desert sandstorm, whatever you call it, look. So I'm really hoping this will work out really well. We'll see how that goes. So as you can see, we have most of the car taped. I just got to finish some parts, and we are ready for mixing the Al's liner and start putting it on. I'm gonna start by mixing half of the mix, and then doing the car, rolling it on, and then wait 2 hours, mix another batch, and then roll that on. So I'm going with 2 coats. That's usually because when you roll it on, you roll it on really thick, so you don't need too many coats. All right, so I have everything set up here. I changed plans. Plan to mix this stuff in 4 different parts, just to keep it fresh, because the pot life on this material is only 20 minutes, and I don't know if I can finish the entire car that quickly. So I'm gonna mix quarter of a gallon at a time, and then go through it that way. But before I start mixing, I'm gonna go ahead and spray this adhesion promoter all over the places where I wanna paint, because that usually takes 20 minutes to set. So I'll do that first, and then start mixing the first batch. I have everything I need ready. I have my brush, my rollers, my measuring pot, mixing pot, and the supplied mixer already connected to a drill, and all my material ready to go over here. So one thing of note is they recommend that one of these, the component B, is to be shaken really well before mixing. So I have to keep thinking about that when I'm mixing each batch. But without further ado, let's get it going.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
once it's time to start rolling, it's best to start from the highest surface first because you don't want to reach over freshly painted areas to get to the stuff only takes 20 minutes to get real thick, so it's very important to break up the batches and manageable size. So here we are after coat number 1 complete. Give you a quick walk around. The paint is not perfect right now. There are some areas where it may appear that it's thin and the white's still showing through, but that's okay. That's as expected from this product. So the first coat's gonna be semi-translucent. That's to be expected. Once the second coat is on, it's going to be fully covered. Obviously, I haven't gone all the way down. That's because it gets covered by the plastic cladding that goes all the way around. That's already been painted and put inside the car. So far, I really like how the color is showing. I'm supposed to let this sit for a couple hours before I can apply the second coat. So a couple of notes I wanted to mention about the experience of applying this stuff is you need to be fast because the pot life on this, like they said, it's 20 minutes. So mix very small amounts and keep it fresh as much as possible, or go fast because it's really hard to yeah, once it gets to the end of that 20 minutes, everything starts getting all almost like doughy and like really sticky, and it's really hard to apply. One thing I want to recommend to people who are thinking about rolling this on is to watch the speed of your roll. If you go a little bit too fast, this stuff starts flinging around and causing all kinds of havoc. So you have to like kind of like keep your rolls very smooth and at a good steady speed, but not too fast where it starts flinging this material all around, and then you have to go over and roll it again. And also try and go long strokes and then overlap by half, and that's how you get a consistent coat all the way across. Because if you keep rolling and then going over and then roll again and then go over and roll again, you'll have like very streaky results. So to keep it nice and consistent, do the half overlap type pattern, and then go long strokes, all try and cover one end to the panel all the way to the other end, and that helps you keep it nice and consistent. Yes, guys, all the tape has been removed carefully. I had to remove it immediately after I finished the last coat, because if that stuff dries on, then it's coming out with the tape. So you have to take the tape off immediately if you're doing any kind of lines on the car or anything along the windows or anything like that. So that all has to come off. So the second and final coat has been done, and no full coverage, everything on everywhere, and no white showing from underneath. Obviously you see the white at the bottom. That's going to be covered again by all the plastic cladding that goes around that I've already taken out and painted, and it's currently sitting all inside the car waiting to be installed again. Then I'm gonna wait for another 2 to 4 hours before I start putting the stuff back on. Maybe some stuff will go on, the stuff that's not really interfering with anything. Yeah, this is turning out great. I like the color, really like the color and how it turned out. So I hope you guys like it as well. If you're enjoying this so far, please subscribe, like, comment. It will help me a lot. If you do all those things, it will help grow the channel. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. All buttoned up and finished. Still needs to cure a little bit more. I can feel the texture is still a little soft. I went ahead and painted the rear spare tire carrier black just to complete the look. Blacked out logos. Overall, I'm very happy. And the lines actually worked out pretty good. That actually looks good. The only thing you have to be careful of is how to pull the tape. You have to pull it into the material. So you gotta pull it towards the bed liner side. Also blacked out the front emblem as well. Here you see the fake T-top look I went for. Looks pretty good. All the blacks are satin black. Kind of goes well with the texture of the bed liner. So to wrap up, I just wanted to give you an impression on how difficult this job is, or how easy. It's not, I would give it a 5 out of 10 in difficulty. And mainly that's because it's time consuming and you have to worry about a lot of different corners and nooks and crannies and taking stuff off and remembering how to put it back on and all that jazz. So you could have probably cut some corners and tape everything up, like including this plastic stuff instead of removing it all. But I chose to take it off because I wanted to paint it anyways and rejuvenate it, and I think it looks really good now. But overall it took me 6 hours to kind of get the material down. That's not accounting for the prep beforehand, the sanding of all the surfaces, the cleaning of all surfaces, making sure that there's no dust sitting on them or anything like that. But yeah, I had a lot of fun doing this and I'm really happy with the result, and I hope you guys are enjoying this as well. So if you do, please hit that subscribe button and like, share, and comment. Let me know what you think.